at BU, I met a friend who introduced me to the folks at Barnes & Noble, and I got a phone call, and the Barnes & Noble people said, I'm sorry to say that out loud here. The people I worked for at the time, the Barnes & Noble people said, would you come to New York and interview for a job? I thought, all right, what is it you guys want to do? And they said, we want to sell books on the internet. And I'm thinking, anybody's going to buy something over the internet. Okay.
Tell me, where would you rather be now?
I said, I'm going to set out to do this, and I made the claim. I went back to my unemployed.com barista now friend web guys, and I said at Starbucks, you can pour lattes all day long. I'm going to make it as a writer. And they said, do you want, extra foam, whatever on it. And so there I am, and I started writing romantic comedies from the guy's point of view. And basically what I did is I wrote myself, only to discover that I can't really sell in the marketplace. My mom liked it, but that's because my mom likes me.
We could set sail and drift away.
I wrote a story. I do not know why I wrote this story. I wrote a short story. It was a story about a guy who was breaking up with his girlfriend. And I'll tell you that I wrote this because I just read High Fidelity by Nick Hornby. Here's a character I could sort of relate to. I don't think even we were dating. I was single. I was a musician. I was lost and I was confused. And so I wrote a short story about a musician who was single, who was lost, who was confused, who was ending a relationship. And I don't know why I did it.
Lost in a dream, the perfect place to be.
A very good friend of mine, a lovely woman at the Jane Rosen agency where I'm represented, she said to me, well, what do you like to read? Okay. I didn't tell you that there were books that I did like to read. Take a drink of water here for a second. I read Marvel Comics. I read anything that was thrilling and fun and engaging and quick. And when I read books, I read thrillers. I read my dad's books. I like my dad's books. I like books that are fun, fast-paced, engaging, and just move along. His plump cheeks streaked and splotched. He was dressed in a short-sleeved white button-down shirt that was sprinkled with food stains. He barely fit into the small green vinyl armchair by the side of the bed. With his free hand, he ran his fingers through his bushy, curly hair, brushing it away from his reddened eyes. Then he wiped at his running nose with the back of his hand. Charlie Giles sprinted after Ann Pedersen. She was no more than 15 to 20 feet ahead of him. Charlie turned the corner, but instead of gaining ground on Ann, he crashed into a nurse who carried a tray of supplies, sending them both falling to the floor. I'm not going to